Welcome back to the Bay Area Examiner Film Room. I am Seth Varnadore, here to take another look back at the latest USF football game. Obviously, the Bulls are coming off a huge win on the road at North Texas, a nationally televised game. G5 game of the year, some were calling it, at least up to that point. And USF goes out and dominates North Texas for the most part once they got out of their own way a little bit. So let's go ahead and start looking at the film from last week. All right, so early in the game, that's where you had most of your big mistakes, right, for USF. So here's the first fumble of the game. Pass protection issue here. You get kind of two guys coming on where the back is, right, in protection. So he's a little confused. You see the back goes to step up for the protection. This backer initially steps up. So you know, a lot of times you're reading inside out in pass protection there. So if both these guys were to blitz, you'd take the inside one, right? Longer path from the quarterback outside, right? So he initially steps up here. You see the back initially step up. And then as he kind of stops, which he very well may have been just matching the back, right? So as he stops, you see the back's not able to scan back to the blitzer coming here. And you give up a sack, and then you compound it by fumbling the ball, right? So this is 7-man protection. You should be good. But that's where you get the free rusher from. And then sometimes you got what the good and bad of Byram, right, is, you know, he's gotten out of plays like that before. But sometimes you just need to eat the sack, and then move on to the next play, right? So coming back, this isn't played poorly here at first by USF. So North Texas is going to go split zone here. So split zone, right, we're all stepping this way. He's going to come back, kick out the end. Now, USF does a pretty good job. You have the safety here. He's down, and you have the linebacker coming to fill. Now, if you kind of maintain your leverage outside, so right here, if I maintain this leverage here where he can't go out really, at worst I can string it out here if he does cut out. But if I don't give him this area to cut to, right, I've got a free runner, a free hitter coming right here for the quarterback, right? But now I lose my leverage right here, and my eyes are in here. And that allows the quarterback to get out and make it just barely into the end zone, right? So if I just kind of maintain my leverage, right, I'm here and it's bouncing to me, I can probably at least string this thing out to the sideline, right? But I kind of lose it, and he takes it in for a touchdown. All right, so next drive coming back for USF. Just at the turnover, trying to get – looks like I'm – without seeing the distribution of routes downfield, very possible this is deep choice here, where he can, I don't know exactly what all their choices are. If it's go, I'm going to kind of assume go, post, definitely come back down your stem. Possible that there's a dig option in there. But probably at worst, go, post, come back down your stem. Corner's off. You can see there's no apex defender out here. So it should be coming right back down my stem, which he does. Good throw. Good job working back to the ball. And now first down, I've got a nice 9-yard pickup. Get to 2nd and 1. And then just mishandle the exchange here. Probably going to be a give. Not sure exactly what happens here. I don't know if the back never got it or what, but the ball's on the ground again. So this is a nice play, right? With how many points North Texas ends up scoring in the first half, right here, you're able to keep him out and keep another touchdown off the board here. It looks like they're playing stubby, and we'll look at that kind of in a when we go to the wider angle a little bit more. But right, it looks like we're at man here in the 3-by-1. You're kind of playing almost two read inside this man defender. So he's got eyes on 2. He's got eyes on 2, right? If 2 is vertical and 1 is short, we'll pass him off here. If both are vertical, we both end up taking it, right? So you get 3, which is 2 to this group because we're canceling this out man to man, is vertical. So he can let him go to the safety. Slot receiver here is coming back underneath, but I've passed him off. And good job snapping your eyes back around there by Schuler. High point in the football for the interception, right? And you can kind of see it really well from here. So man-to-man here. If both are vertical, right, I'd turn and wall him. It'd be on top, and I'd take number 2 vertical. Right, once 2's underneath, 3 is vertical. Now I have these 2 on him, and he's looking to work the underneath. He snaps his eyes around. Great job high pointing it. And the other part of this is what I wonder. I didn't watch a ton of North Texas early, but Mestamaker seemed to make some real mistakes once he got pressure in his face. So USF's just going to run kind of a simple kind of game up front here. Set him up inside here, kind of rush between these 2 almost. And then I'm back in. And they're running end in first. So right here, you got tackle first, in wrapping right here. I've got in coming in first with a tackle wrapping. And you're able to get pressure right in his face, and he feels like he's got to throw it early. And Schuler's just sitting there waiting on it, able to make a play on it. All right, so got the ball here. It seems like it's like, okay, let's let Byram run a little bit. So you got some draw stuff. He's able to make something happen with his feet. Right, when it's not working early, get him going in the run game. Here's a nice little concept. It's almost like counter, or it is kind of counter. I'm pulling a kick in, and then my second puller, instead of it being like an H-back here, which is typical, and you'll see later, right, the H-back wrapping, I'm just going to wrap the back instead. So it lets me get into some different sets here. And we're going to pull, kick, wrap the back for the inside backer. Right. I'm not sure why this, if they went to this just because of how North Texas sets their front to a tight end. If they set the front, they're going to set the front to the tight end. So it's harder to pull him right when he's on the ball. So I may pull the back in that case, get the front set over here, get a kick out block there. And then I got a lead blocker for the quarterback, converting a 4th and 2. Then later on, just go zone read, pulls it, and then just really good job after the pull, finding the seam. And good job by the back kind of after he does not get the ball going and finding work. I don't think it is, but this could be. A lot of teams are doing faking here and having him block the backside end. So this could be not a read, and he's just truly blocking it the whole time. If so, makes sense. But either way, it kind of works out that way. All right, so this one you kind of get caught in a stunt here, caught in a game. You end up having nobody in this front side A gap, right? So you got the A gap here, the B gap here, the C gap here. You're going to get a slant, and I think some of it is you slant this way and they're running zone this way, so you almost get displaced an extra gap, I think, here, right? So I end up getting across the center's face, and he's able to turn me, so I end up in the backside A gap, and then as I come in here, I end up getting kind of doubled in this B gap. And then you're having a looper come around here, the linebacker looping. And so now I've got nobody in the front side A gap, right? And so he just hits the A gap 100 miles an hour, full head of steam, not able to make the tackle at the second level. So somewhat unlucky. You just kind of get nobody into that gap. So you kind of leave a gap open, and it happened to be the gap they were attacking with the run scheme. 3rd and 4. I think they've done this a few times, a few different ways, but it looks to me like this is just an option route. I think he's running the corner. And then this guy, the wing, is going to have an option to probably curl up or break out, depending on the leverage of the defense. So he squeezes down inside, so it's an easy decision. Break out away from this guy. He breaks out there. Easy completion for the first down. And then you're going to see a similar look later when they throw the screen to this guy. It makes it look like this here. And then instead of throwing that, you're going to run screen with the tight end back the other way. And this is just Byram using his legs on a big 3rd down, right? Don't settle for field goals. Get inside the 30, right? These are, some call them 4-point plays. Those 3rd down conversions, it keeps the chains moving. And then that sets you up for this. This is just straight goes. Nothing fancy here, no deception. Just one-on-one, good ball, strong hands going up to get it there for the touchdown. So 4th and 1, North Texas goes with kind of a wildcat look in their run. Power read. You're bringing pressure off the backside edge. Just doesn't quite get there in time. They're able to get the down blocks. The puller gets across. And the Wildcat quarterback's able to stick it up in there, right? So they're just running power read. Really just power, making it look like power read, really, because they're not leaving the end. So I'm kicking here, and everyone else is down, wrapping, pulling. Flat across, maybe to make it look like read. Could be bash, possibly, right? But that's usually back away. But once he widens, he's going to keep it up in there. You have the puller there. You just need one. Good cut by him. Getting vertical for the touchdown. So this is they got the ball at the 50, 2 minutes left. They're fast offense as well. So this is plenty of time to go down and score. Really good play in what looks to be man-to-man coverage outside by DeClona. Again, you get some pressure. So good interior push right here. You're not bringing a ton of guys, but look at the push you get on the interior. Get a hand in his face, make him kind of throw this thing fading away. Throws it sooner than he wants to. Great play on the ball there for the interception. You don't do much with it, but you do get a punt. And that punt is muffed. And tell me if you've heard this before. USF special teams making a big play for them that can change the game a little bit, get you the ball back with limited time. And then this is a really tough look if you're a defense, right? Just because of – so we've got a tight end here. So I need one outside, right, to kind of fit in the run game. And then the hard play action – it's going to get them to step up. He's going to sneak to the corner, and you also have him coming across to the flat with the run fake and Byram's ability to pull it, right? You're kind of putting 3 guys on 2 guys in this situation, right? So it's almost like triple option where this is one option here to throw this. I've got 2 here. My other option is for him. So 1 option for me, 2 options for me. 3rd option would be, so let's say this guy covers the corner really well. He covers the flat really well. Well, now there goes Byram, the 3rd option, right? So come out here, nice and easy, good catchable ball, good catch, tie the game up right before the half, really big score. So they got a run play on here. So this is something they do with a ton of their run plays. They package them. So up top, you got a screen. Then down to the field here, He's got a hitch, like a gift hitch. So if they give it to you, you can take it. So they give it here. Byron, good timing, rips it out there. Then good run after the catch here. I think this is where he gets hurt a little bit, but still really good play on an easy decision, just attached to a run play. Nothing special, just part of the offense, part of how everything's built. All right, so this is really well done here. You get the motion that kind of gets them displaced a little bit. You see him running. He's rotating back. Now he slows down, comes back. He's going to play run. This safety's going to play run. Pretty good job here, kind of slow playing it. And then the only guy left is the guy that was you saw in the middle of the field here at the beginning of the play, right? He's going to have to come all the way across and cover this corner route, which, look, you got a ton of space and you've got leverage. All right, see both these guys play run, run, run. Also throws it on the run, which is helpful. All right, if I kind of start to slow up as soon as I get it. All right, I slow up as soon as I get it. Some people may fall off. Throws it on the run. Nice accurate ball for the touchdown there. Again, 3rd and 6, pressure. Jump inside, off the edge here. Showed more pressure in here, right? Showed kind of this pressure here, backed out. So you really only haven't ended up rushing 4. And you still get both kind of the edges home. He's got to throw it a little bit early, I think, and he just forces it into the crosser. You've got this thing covered 2 ways already. A little bit of an inaccurate ball. You got the safety waiting on it. And then a really good return after the interception. So they did a good job getting enough pressure in his face to force him to throw it probably sooner than he would have liked to. If he doesn't have pressure, he may come back. It looks like it's wide cross, so he may come back to the dig behind it and have a chance. But good job kind of forcing that thing out of his hands early in the spots he shouldn't be throwing the ball to. And this one they're going so fast you don't even see it, but you can kind of see it hits right up the gut here, and we're going to see a different view of it. This is just going to be a counter look. Good run there by Sam Franklin, but it's going to be a counter look. So we're going to have a puller here, right? Instead of we saw earlier the back is the leading, we're going to have the wing come up and lead up. So here's the puller, kicks, wraps. Now, right, obviously you didn't want this to be a defensive lineman that you're having to fit up on, but they do a pretty good job inside. And that's why instead of hitting out here like it usually does, like B gap or C gap out, it's going to hit tight, almost in the A gap-ish area. And just good hard run, way to get vertical in a hurry, right? That's a little muddy. Some backs may want to wiggle in there. He gets vertical in a hurry for the touchdown. So playing man down here, and then you're going to see this end peel with this. And now you're kind of playing zone up top where I can pass it off. He may be playing, once he goes under and he may kind of be poaching number 3 across. So if they try to do that, you've got the safety there for that, right? So I'm able to pass these things off vertically, pass it off, and he'll end up coming back down and making a play. And this dude seems to make plays every single week. Jarvis Lee throws the shallow, come up and make the hit. And then Jalen Schuler does a good job getting the ball. And then just like you used to do against your little brother or your friends in Madden or college football when you had a big run and they weren't around you, take as much time as you can to score just to rub it in a little bit. This is a really good call here. So they're going to make it look like they're running counter, pulling the guard and the tackle. I think this causes him to squeeze here, and then the motion, right, makes it look like we're running something out wide. So I start to get some width here because I got to carry that in case somebody's getting vertical or something like that, right? Especially if it looks like maybe out here I'm playing man. And what they're going to do is you have these two guys here with a counter look, and now typically on these jailbreak screens, right, I'm out, and maybe the center's out, and we're just jailbreak screen underneath, right? So they're still going to get three guys out, but they're going to kind of exchange it. And they also get the benefit of a pulling guard holding backers a little bit, right? So pullers hold there, and then he's going to get out. He's going to get out, and the backside tackle even is going to get out, right? And we're going to sell counter, and you see linebacker steps. The motion gets him to widen. And now he's in a tough position because he went to fit up the pullers, and now you're getting a convoy of guys here, and he just hits this thing 100 miles an hour. And that happens when you got explosive players, right? So really good design by them. And then you just come back with a little – this is just great execution. You saw the hitch to Nimrod earlier, right? You run enough hitch, you run enough hitch, you run enough hitch. Now you can go hitch and go. So you see hitch, he slows down and go. Really good route here. And good catchable ball there for a touchdown to Koger. Put the close-up here. I usually don't put the close-ups, but watch just the hands, the feet, and then watch the eyes. The eyes really sell it because a lot of times hands and feet and your head just stays looking vertically, right? When I'm running a hitch, I'll stick my foot in the ground, snap my eyes back for the football, right? So here, chop, 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 snap my eyes back. And you can kind of see once he snaps the eyes, he starts to really go, right? Eye snap, you see him, right, transitioning to get that weight forward. And then at that point, it's over. He runs by him. Good catchable football. Touchdown. Really good route there. All right, so same look as the one before, right? We're on the third down conversion before. 3rd and 4 as well, right? So you had the corner out, and then it looked like he was running the choice route where he could curl up or break out. He's going to have pretty much the same look and release here, right? And then he's actually back underneath for a screen. So really cool design, paired up. These last two plays, right, you pair them up with previous plays. And you see right here, you've got one sitting on a curl. You've got one almost sitting on breaking out. And it's like, no, we're actually going to come back and run screen in here. And really good job breaking that tackle, picking up the first down here. And that gets you the second down. It looks like you just run almost wedge up front where everyone's just down. Everyone's just forming a wedge inside, getting low. Your fullback / defensive lineman's going full speed ahead, and your guard, I guess, is following him for the touchdown. So really, really cool. Big man touchdown there. Nice and easy. Great job going up to high point this onside kick, right? Don't wait for it to take a second bounce. If you get a high kick, go attack it. Good job attacking it and then getting down, right? No reason to put the ball at risk. If I've got this right now, I've got it in really good field position. So good job. And USF ends up cashing in the drive here on what looks to just be kind of zone read. Pulls it, gets vertical. Easy touchdown. So another really good game from USF. The offense is obviously rolling. I would think that would continue this week against an FAU team that seems to be really bad against the run. It seems like if you're really bad against the run against Alex Golish teams, it's going to be a long day for you because everything's kind of based on that. So it should be a tough contest for the FAU defense, but you know, we've seen USF screw around a little bit sometimes with turnovers and being a little sloppy. If they can play a clean game, it could be a really fun homecoming for everybody. So thank you guys for watching the Bay Area Examiner Film Room. Regardless of the outcome of next week, we'll be back taking a closer look at the film from that game Thank you guys on Patreon for subscribing. You guys get this first. Your subscription and patronage helps us cover the team better, and hopefully we can cover this team into knock on wood playoff appearance. So we'll see. The team's been doing really well. Thank you guys for being subscribers. If you want to get this first, head over to patreon.com/BAE and you can $10 a month to get you extra podcasts each week, in-depth preview, and the film room first. And the film room will come out later on YouTube. So wherever you're watching this, please check us out on Patreon. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week on another episode of the Bay Area Examiner Film Room.